Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video I thought I'd show you changing the rear differential oil in this 4.5 108. I think some time ago I did a video on the other one, but I just wanted to go over to make sure. There's a few points I think I might have missed on that one, little detail. Basically, when you're going to do this, back it up onto some ramps, and the main reason is to keep those axles level. If you go jacking it up, then the wheels are going to crab in, the axles are going to droop down. So when you fill the differential and are checking the fill hole to see if it weeps back out again, what's happening is you're filling up that differential and then oil's running down those axle tubes, right? And then you're getting the oil back out the fill tube, and then when you go to reset the car, essentially that oil is pouring back into the differential, so you're overfilling it. So I back it up onto the ramps, and then I use my jack at the front with a little pin on the jack. I'll show you that in a minute, to make sure it doesn't slip. I lift up the subframe so it levels the car, so we get a nice drain out the back here. So let me get you underneath and I'll show you what I do first. Okay, here we are underneath. Obviously this is the fill plug and the drain plug, and obviously you want to take the fill plug out first. You won't want a situation where you drain the differential and you can't fill it. So I've already loosened this just to be on the just so you know what's going on, the up and up, and I already loosened this a little bit because I knew I'd be holding the camera. So whoops, and then he drops the plug. So, oh, we're getting a little feedback here, so that obviously shows I haven't lost oil over the years. Hold on a minute, let me get this plug out of here, hold on. So let's undo the drain plug. I might have to put the camera down to do that, and we'll drain the rest out. Right, there we go, got the main drain plug out. Oil looks very good actually. That has been in there, I'd say I'd have to consult my little book, but I think that's been in there for, it's got to be 5 years or more, maybe 8 years, I'm not sure, but yeah, it looks pretty clean. So question, just leaving it to drain now. I have gone on a little drive to warm the oil up a bit, so it should drain fairly easy. I just did my 6-cylinder and that was pretty cold, so that took forever. So anyway, just let that drain out. Right, now I've let that all drain out, I'm using this stuff. It's a Permatex, it's like a sealant. I put a little of that around the thread because on my other car I was getting a little weeping around the drain plug, so just a little smidge of this stuff. It's kind of a copper looking stuff, just a little on the thread to help seal that up. Let's get that guy in there. And just for reference, you can buy, and I was thinking of getting them actually, I haven't this time around, but the drain plugs that are magnetic. Now I've measured the thread on these for your reference. They're 24mm Allen with a 1.5 pitch. So if you want to order those, I have seen them, I just didn't this time because I just didn't, and I wanted to do this. So get that nipped up. Get crazy, and then give everything a little wipe down. I'm going to clean this area thoroughly because while I'm under here, this is a really good time to get these Zerk fittings on the pivot of the swing axle here. So there's one here and there's one on the other side, so get a few shots of grease in here because then that will help lubricate this area, this bushing and shaft in here, and these rings here, these are the seal rings. There's one here, and there's two on the front side. So there's something to do, something that gets forgotten. And then I've got a pump assembly to pump in here. It's 2.5 litres, and by 2.5 litres that should be weeping back out of this drain hole. I'm going to get my plug all ready before that happens with its sealant on. And yeah, as I say, with the axles level, it will come back out of the drain around 2.6 litres, something like that. And then that's it. It's not a very hard little service here, but it gives you peace of mind, because you know, throwing one of these differentials, it's not going to be cheap in parts if you damage it. And especially on something like this, the 4.5, you know, they don't go on trees, these things. So let me get that hooked up and then I'll get back to you. Right, it's just a question. I got off camera one of these pumps in a gallon can of the correct gear oil, 85-90 weight hypoid oil is required for this. And if you've got a limited slip differential, which this doesn't have, you will require slightly different limited slip differential oil, so, or an additive. So I'm just going to do this, which is not very exciting stuff for you to watch, and I'll follow up once it's full up. Right, I think we're getting some back out of the fill hole here, just making sure. That was, yeah, see, it's coming back out now. Right, get that out of the way, get our plug back in, all ready here. And that is it. So I just get that tightened up, and so I say got about 2.5 litres of 80-90 gear oil, hypoid gear oil, and just, I said already, but just for reference, make sure if you've got one with a limited slip, you do have to use a different type of oil or additive. So I'm going to clean this up with some brake cleaner, this area, and then just lubricate these two circ fittings, and that's about it. While you're under here, it wouldn't be a bad idea to check the boot up here. Make sure you're checking for any cracks and slits and stuff, and you know, hopefully you haven't, because it's a bit of a pain. They do split boots, but it's better to get the complete boot, which entails removing of the swing axle here, which is a little more involved than just it's not particularly an easy job, a little bit more involved. So anyway, hopefully the boot is good. So I'm going to clean all this up, get it nice and clean, and check for leaks, and that is about it. So as far as the front jacking, I've probably shown you in previous videos, but I made this plate up to reinstall the subframe of this car. Basically a metal plate here braced underneath. This hole bolts in, you put a bolt through here, bolts into the bracket for I believe it's the steering dampener. I may be wrong there, but essentially this goes in the drain hole of the subframe this way, and then this grabs hold of that bracket, so you essentially lock the subframe to this head, right, and then you can jack in the subframe yourself or remove it. But also I like to use this to lock into the subframe, so you don't get any risk of this slipping off of the bottom of the subframe when you're jacking and lifting the car up. And then I put these pads around, and this head can be removed because I tapped and screwed it onto the original jack head. So anyway, it's just a little rubber bushing that I had from the suspension, so it doesn't scratch it all up there. Anyway, that was that. Makes it a lot easier and a lot safer. And then obviously axle stands as well. This is just purely to lift the car. So just a quickie, in an upcoming video, this is an M130 engine out of my parts car in the backyard. My friend Matthew that you saw, he's 108 in the one or two videos back, he was going to use this engine to rebuild this engine and put it into his 108, but because of obligations, family stuff, you know, he's not going to do that. So I got it back from him because my good friend Urban needs a camshaft, and I can lift this off and show you that even though it's covered in grease there, I greased that many moons ago to preserve it, but that's a brand new camshaft in there. So I'm going to give that to him just to help him out, because his cam in his Pagoda is shot. So Anyway, what I'm getting to, I'm going to take the opportunity to do a video of tearing this engine down, taking the cam out, taking the chain, and I do believe this has had quite a bit of work done on it, even though it looks a little sad right now. But we'll tear it down, look at the bores, look at the pistons, the rods, the bearings, just for a bit of fun, and be a learning experience for me, and hopefully it can help someone out if they're considering rebuilding their M130, what to expect on the teardown. It's obviously not complete, it's got a lot of ancillaries that are off of it, but this is just the main block and rotating assembly we'll remove. But that's for another video. And obviously we're going to get cracking on our old 6.3, which I'm itching to do because of all these delays with other obligations. So that is ready to roll out and finish off the metalwork. So I think that's it for this one. Just trying to catch up on some maintenance items I wanted to do because I've been distracted with working on that Land Rover Discovery of my sister-in-law's. So as I say, in the next few videos we'll jump onto that M130 and start splitting it down, pull that cam out from my buddy, and then we'll get back onto the main project. So hope you got something from this video. I know, really riveting stuff, but anyway, please hit like, share, subscribe. It really helps the channel, and yeah, we'll get cracking this year. All right, take care guys, thanks for watching. Ta-da.